Hey everyone, and welcome to another painting video. So I'm doing the same concept as I did for the last video because I was so happy with the results, except that I'm doing a green background with kind of pinky magenta like planets. This painting was a struggle right from the start, let me tell you. I mean, first of all, I still have that problem with making these planets look the way that I want them to look on such a small scale. I'm just using standard nozzles for my Kansas spray paint, and I think that's a large part of the issue. It definitely got me, Googling the airbrush, I guess, the airbrush machines and stuff, and seeing how much that would set me back. Because honestly, I put like a lot of spray paint on this canvas trying to get it right. And, like I showed you some of this making the planet process, but holy cow, I probably redid this like at least 5 or 6 times. And actually, I had to go out and buy more spray paint because I used up all my spray paint just trying to make these darn planets. It was a struggle. Anyways, so looking at this video now, it made me realize that I really liked how I had my cups set out originally. And then this whole planet making fiasco happened, and I ended up rearranging my cups. And, I really wish that I had kept my cups in the same configuration as when I started. So maybe next time I'll take a picture. And so if I have a problem making the planets, which I'm sure I will, I'll be able to put them back at least generally in the same configuration that I had the first time. So the next issue that I had was the fluorescent pink spray paint kept on bleeding through the lighter colors. Consequently, I had to put a ton of spray paint on for the background. It was rather annoying, and honestly, I've never put so much spray paint on a single painting, like, ever. And I've done a fair number of these paintings by now, so it was like a pretty big deal. It was an interesting discovery, lessons learned. Moving on to the artist's eye view of loading the tray. I really like providing this viewpoint just because, this is possibly my most favorite part of this whole process. Just figuring out how many little puddles of paint to put in there, how much to put in each puddle, how much to load the tray at all, the different color combinations is just is really relaxing but exciting and kind of anxious at the same time. So this is just a really great part of the process. And I think that you can really see my paint consistency with this viewpoint as well. So it might help you out with your own paintings. As you can see, I kind of didn't really have the angle of the tray right, so that paint started seeping over the edge a bit. So I had to call it quits at that point and kind of just cross my fingers and hope that I got enough paint in there to get the look that I was going for. So the pour turned out to be really hectic and kind of crazy, mainly because I had propped up the canvas rather precariously and I didn't realize it. And like 1 second into the pour, like basically when the paint hit the canvas, I knocked it down. And so I had to like kind of juggle the canvas with one hand and pour the paint with the other hand. And I was really disappointed because like I had all these big plans to make all these waves and kind of interesting patterns with the paint. But at the same time, I ended up having to juggle this canvas and kind of keep the angle consistent. I ended up doing okay, but like in retrospect, I just wish that I had, propped up my canvas properly and not had to worry about keeping the angle of it. And, it just would have been really good to be able to concentrate on the paint coming out of the tray. It's yet another lesson learned. You know, it's funny that you think that you learn so much from a painting and the next one is going to go so well. And then the next one comes along and a whole new set of issues crop up. But, I mean, you know, what can you do? It keeps it interesting for sure. And I am going to be doing another one of these. I want to do one with a blue background next. Haven't decided really on the planet color, but I'm looking forward to it. These are really a lot of fun to do. I've been really enjoying doing this series. So right about here, I'm noticing that I did not put enough paint on the part to the right, and it was going to take a fair amount of effort to get those two planets on the right to be covered in paint. And I still wasn't really super sure as to how long I should let this paint flow down the canvas. I experimented a little bit with like different angles, just to kind of see if I could shift the paint over to the right a bit. But then I decided that I really didn't like the pattern that was being created by pushing the top right corner down. So I went back to my tray to see if I had any extra paint that I could use. Because, I mean, I was sort of really trying to avoid putting any muddy colors on there. I was really digging the bright colors that were kind of emerging from the whole thing. I dripped a little bit on the corner there, but decided that it really wasn't worth the risk of putting some muddy colors on my painting. So I hummed and hawed for a little bit longer. Took the time to give you a close-up of the paint flowing around my cups, because in person it is pretty cool to watch. You can see a close-up of my super secret engineering feat. And I actually ended up having to add a little bit of paint to just get the paint to go around that last cup. And actually, it really turned out in the end, I didn't need to do that. The paint just did its thing by itself. I guess I was just being a little too impatient and overly anxious, I guess. Taking the painting down and stopping the flow of paint was also a bit of a fiasco, mainly because I don't know what I was thinking with this painting. I didn't plan well at all, and it was really hard to get it flat. But I did some, I guess, art gymnastics at the end and got it to lie flat and was really happy with the end result of it. Once again, I didn't wait long enough to pop off the cups, and I had to do some, quick work to get the edges of the paint to behave correctly, I guess. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this painting. If you did, remember to hit like and make sure you subscribe so you can see this painting in blue. Have a great day. Bye.